Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene, and in today's video, we're doing my project planning update. So if you want to see the progress I've made over the last couple of months in my project on some of my beauty and makeup items, then just stay tuned. All right, another update is here on my items I pulled for this 2025 year of things that I just felt like I needed to get some use out of and that I wasn't pulling for whatever reason. Well, I put those items in here and wanted to get some more use out of them. Let's just jump right into it. So the first thing, we're making good progress in this project. So in my brows category, I've already had 2 things that was done. The only thing that was left in this category is this KVD brow pomade. And so this is where that is now. The dip has gotten even deeper. I'm doing a different angle so you can kind of see how far down it has gone. But yes, have been making very good progress in this. And I've still been using my eye pencils and things like this, but I have been continually using this as well. It's in my eyebrows today. So my KVD brow pomade, the dip is getting bigger. Happy with that. The other thing is our primer. So I marked the new line on my Marc Jacobs primer. And as you can see, it went down a little bit more. So I've been utilizing that. And I have utilized my Makeup by Mario. The dip is a little bit deeper. This is such a thick formula that it hardly doesn't show the movement. But it has a slight dip going in that one shade. I don't know if you can tell it or not. But that's where that one is right now. And that was all for the eye primers. So the next category is my eyeshadow, what I call onesies. These are your single eyeshadows that I pulled in here, the single potted eyeshadows. So the first one I have is the Sequence Glam Noir by Marc Jacobs. These ones, I gave myself a 10 usage goal on them. And where I am, I wore Glam Noir one other time. So that's that. So that brought my total up to 4 on this one. And then the Glamethyst one, that's this one. The Glamethyst one, I used an additional 3 times. So that brought that total up to 7. So I love this shade. To me, the Glam Noir is more for like special occasion type wear. So I love the color, but it's not something that you would want. I wouldn't personally wear every day, but you know, you do you. The other one I have is the Hourglass one. That's in the rose shade. It's called Scattered Light Smoke. It's a rosy type color. And this one, I finished. So I've gotten my usages out of this one. I love this shade. I have received several compliments when I've worn this shade. So this is very complimentary. I think that's something, this is a shade here, this smoke shade that you can wear on a daily basis just about. Office appropriate, I mean anytime. It's a really good shade. I'm glad I have that one in my collection. The other 2 are from Sydney Grace. The Flamethrower and Dragonfly. And these ones, I use each one other time. So the Dragonfly one is up to 3 usages. And the Flamethrower one is up to 2 usages now. So these still had 10 usages. So I still got a ways to go with those. And then the next one was the Ultraviolet from the Natasha Denona. This shade here. Ultraviolet. So I used this an additional 2 times. So that brought this up to 4. And then my other 2 are from Pat McGrath. It's her liquid, her Fetish Eyes in Twilight Platinum and in Chartreuse, Cosmic Chartreuse. I've used each of these once. So that we're still at number 1. So I did finally open those and use them. So I used each one of those one time because I hadn't used them the whole rest of the year. So that's where we are with all my onesies. Now let's move on to our palettes. The first one was one of my smaller palettes out of the ones I pulled, which was this Charlotte Tilbury Luxury Palette of Pops. And I said I wanted to hit pan on one of these shades. So I'm kind of trying to tilt it so you can see I have been making some progress on it. I've been mostly tapping into those 3 shades here. Love all 3 of these. And they all got a dip going. Now, how far the dip is before I hit pan on it, I don't know. But that was the goal, is to hit pan on one of these shades. I love this palette from them. The Luxury Palette of Pops. This is a good one from her. I love it. Mini Leela was the next one. I used this one an additional 2 times. So on the Mini Leela palette, I wanted to get 15 usages out of it. So I'm up to 10 now on this one. And then also from Natasha Denona was her Cranberry palette. That's that one there. And this one I used an additional 2 times. So it brought it up to number 11. And then my Tom Ford Argentine palette. Now, if you saw my series that I got going on with my palette, eyeshadow palette collection, I can tell you that I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to keep this palette or not. But this one is up to 10 usages. I wanted to get 15 out of this. It's up to 10 right now. And I'm still on the fence with this Violet Argentine palette. I think it's a beautiful packaging. The presentation is gorgeous. But I'm just on the fence by the shades in here. I don't think they're deep enough for me. They show up on my skin. I can come up, I can come up with some looks with it, but I just wish it was a little deeper. That's my thoughts on the Tom Ford Violet Argentine palette. So then the next one is also the 2 that I finished this time around. So I finally finished my usage goal on my Pat McGrath number 4 Decadence palette. That's in the Star Wars packaging. This one, I gave myself 15 usages out of it. And so I had used it an additional 4 times, which brought my usage to the 15. So we are done with this palette now. And then the next one was my Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette number 10. The same with this one. This one here, I needed to use it an additional 3 times, which I did. It was at 12 the last time, so I used an additional 3 times, bringing it to 15 now. So I've reached my goal on that as well. Yay! So I'm happy about that. And then my Z palette, on both of them, I wanted to use them 20. So this is the purple palette. And this one I have used an additional 5 times. So brought it up to 18 on that one. And then my Z palette, that is my Sydney Grace Z palette, but it has Sydney Grace and other eyeshadows in it. But this is the one that has mostly my greens and things like that in there. I used this an additional 3 times, so it brought it up to 10. So that's where those are right now. All right, so the next item is my primer. So we're moving away from the eyes for now, because this is the order, like I said, that I put on my makeup. So now we move away from the eyes for temporarily, and then we start going into primers for the face and concealers. Now, I used up the Milani primer last time, and I was focusing on this Farsali primer. So the last time I showed you guys this primer, it was up here. Now it's a little bit actually below this line, and it's hard to get the rest of this up. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to squeeze anything else out of here. I'll try it a couple more times, but this is pretty much done. I'm going to call it done, because I had trouble getting stuff out of here the last time, because it's one of those squeezy type things. So you have to really try to get it to squeeze up, and it doesn't want to act right when it's that low. It don't want to squeeze anything up. So it's really more of a pain than anything else trying to get little droplets out at a time. So it's pretty much done. So I'm going to call it done. I might get one more squeeze out of there, but it's pretty much done. Now, SPFs. This Drunk Elephant Over Tint Physical Daily Defense, this SPF here, I don't like it. And because I don't like it, I'm calling it done. I'm not gonna force myself to use something I don't like. I don't like this. So it's being removed. Kapari has gone down a little bit more. As far as the SPF on this one, I don't hate this one, but this one is just okay. But I'll keep on finishing it. But that's where it is right now. I prefer another face SPF over these. And I made myself try to use this one, and I don't like it. And so I'm working on this one. We'll see. Concealers. Too Faced Born This Way is right here now. If you remember anything about me, it's I'm not a big concealer user. So this is going to go very slowly to go down, but I have been utilizing it. And this one, I've come to the conclusion that this one is just too light for me. I use it a couple of times. The marking is down, but because it's too light, I don't know if I'm going to, I might just pass this along to my mom. She's lighter than me, so I'm thinking about passing this along to her because I think this would work good on her, but it's just too light for me. When I originally put it in this project, I put it in there with that Josie Moran concealer that had the doe foot break off in it because it was too dark, and these, I felt like these two would have balanced each other. But since that one is gone, I'm struggling to use this one. And I know some people use concealer on their eyes as a, you know, as a primer. My eyelids is too oily for that. So it's not, I'm not going to do concealer on my eyes for a primer. So I think I'm going to be passing this along and taking this out of the project. So that's where that one is from Pretty Vulgar. It was just a wrong shade for me. All right, so the next thing is the foundation. So my Stay Naked, and it looks like it's actually, as it settled a little bit more, it looks like it's even a little bit more below than where I marked it, but that's where it is now. As you can see, it's where it was before, and now it's down to here. So more than likely the next time y'all see this, it will be done. But that's where my Stay Naked foundation is. And like I was telling you before, this one is a little warmer on me, which is perfect for the summer because I am a little darker in the summertime. So this will be finishing up right when we're starting to get transitioning into fall, which is the perfect timing on that. So enjoying that so far. And let's see, blush. The only blush I had that was by itself is this one that I moved in from my hashtag color pan project. I moved it over here. It had 20 usages on it, and I got 6 more usages, so it's up to 11. But it's that papaya blush from ColourPop. So I've been enjoying this. So put it in the project because I thought I would shy away from the color because it was different from what I thought it was, but have been loving it for this summer. It's been really nice. The next thing is my face palettes. So on these, I wanted to focus on using up the cream. My Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow palette. That's this one here. And that's where it looks like right now. I have been using, you can kind of see slight dip going. Can you see it there? Especially in this shade here. But this one I've used an additional 2 times, so it brought it up to 9. And then in my Love palette, the Love palette, the pink one, I used this one an additional 1 time. So that brought it up to 6. And then my Tan palette, this one here, I used an additional 2 times. So it brought it up to 12. So that's where that is now. And that is my face palettes. And so then we have my contour bronzers situation. So the Soft Revenge and Dune and the Nobla, what they call these, the skin bronzing powders. I'll show you where they are now. And I just kind of wanted to hit pan or get as far as I can with these. So that's where that one is now. And then Soft Revenge has more of a dip going in it. You can see if you can tell. But yeah, that's where that one is right now. And then my Bobbi Brown bronzer in Deep 4. The pan on that has gotten way bigger. It is definitely almost there. So excited about that. And then my ColourPop Soul Bronzing Balm in dark. That's where that is. It's still got a little dip going in that as well. So it's doing very well. So that's where all my bronzers are at the moment. Powders. My Too Faced powder. Trying to knock it down so you can kind of see. You can see the shadow right there. So it's like right in here. That is my Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder. And then my Chanel powder in Universal. I've used this the most. You can kind of see it. It's down here now. So it is making some good progress of almost being done. That's their Universal powder from Chanel. Highlighters. I've only used this like one other time, so you're not going to hardly see any movement on that Cover FX highlighter. I do enjoy it though. It is but it's very sparkly. So you got to be in the mood for one of those type of highlighters. So the last several project plannings, I was telling you that I haven't bust this open to use it. This was one of those freebies that came in like one of those gift bags with purchase situation. I tried it. It's too icy. It is too icy for my skin tone. So this is another one. I gave it a go. But to me, it is too icy for me. So this one is another one that I'm just gonna, like I was talking about with this right here, you can tell it's more for someone with that type of skin tone, not for me. So those two were the things that was gonna be removed out of the project. And eyeliners. So remember how I was going on and on and on about how I need to try this chocolate gel liner? Well, I finally tried it. This thing is hard as a rock. You can see where I tried to go in there. This stuff does not move. So it's dried out or something. I don't know. But it's going in the trash. But I do want to share that I tried. I tried, and this was another one of those situations where I think this was like part of a bag purchase thing that they send you. And I was saying I needed to try it. I've been saying I need to try it. And it is hard as a rock. It's no good. So that's going in the trash. But I do want to acknowledge that I tried. I tried. Now it's in the trash. Okay. So the other things that we had was the ones that I moved from that hashtag color pan. Out of all of these, I've used Amethyst 4 times. And Peach Fuzz 1 time. So these two I did utilize. These two I still have not utilized. And I don't like this one. I had it on for couple of my videos. And to me, it didn't look good on my skin tone. I tried on this one as well. Amethyst is okay. But so what I'm thinking about doing these is passing these along. I think one of my nieces may love these. I think they're too light for me. Because they're more of a pastel type color. And I think these are too light for me. So these are getting moved out. But I did try, like I said, I tried the Amethyst 4 times and I tried the Peach Fuzz 1 time. And these are even lighter than these. So I know if I didn't like those two too much, I know I'm not going to like the other two. So those are going to go. And the next thing is my lips. So lipsticks, Love Child. I told you before that I was probably going to be done with Love Child by next time, but I only made it to here. I've been enjoying some of my other lip glosses and lipsticks and things, so this is here now. But that's where the MAC Lip Glass and Love Child is. And then my Sephora M11 was in my Empties. Y'all saw that when I completed it. So that was a good job on that. That is done. And so the other two things that was in here regarding as far as lips go was my 2 MAC lipsticks. The first one is in Rebel. Show you guys where that is now. It's right there. So made some good progress on that one as well. And then the one in Verve is even shorter. So that's where we are on Verve now. So that is my project planning update. Tell me down below, how did I do? We had several things that I made good progress on, so I'm super excited about that. Been sticking with the project, so that's awesome. Finished a couple of the palettes goals that I wanted to hit on those, so we got a few more that I want to work my way through. And those colors are perfect for the fall that's coming up, especially some of these onesies that are more, like, to me, fall appropriate. So I know I'm going to get more usage out of those. So I should meet my goals for my project planning this year, and that is exciting to me. Drop down below, how's your projects going? Because some of you started this project with me the beginning of the year, and I want to know how you have been doing on your project. And tell me what you think about how good I've done so far as well. Let's motivate each other to keep using what we have in our collections. And then I'm thinking about doing a 26 for 26 for my makeup and beauty items. So tell me what you guys think of that down below. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a big thumbs up so it can help push my channel in the algorithm of the YouTube space. And also subscribe if you have not already done so. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.